Donald Trump is planning to have court-martialed and brought to trial the seditious six, as he and the rest of the MAGA have called them. Now, I probably should move on from this subject, but after last night, hearing threats against these six of them and their families, I can't move on. But I think we should all know why one of the seditious six, Mark Kelly, is being singled out. Now, beyond politics, we know that he's a possible Democratic contender for the presidency in 2028. But let's make it clear. Mark Kelly is more of a man, more of a patriot, more of a soldier than Donald Trump ever will be. And help me illustrate this, I'm going to read you an article from John Pavlovitz, The Astronaut and the Ass. Mark Kelly is the patriot Donald Trump will never be. In case you haven't been paying attention or following closely lately, we're currently in the Let's Attack a Decorated War Veteran and Retired Astronaut portion of the collapse of Republican morality. In this latest round of collective conservatism, the right-wing outrage machine is purposely targeting Senator Mark Kelly, a man who tangibly embodies what it means to be an American patriot. For correctly reminding members of the military that they are required not to obey illegal orders, Kelly has been labeled as seditious and threatened with death by a president whose election a year ago is quite literally the only thing that's keeping him from a prison cell for his high crimes against the people and this nation. Trump's sycophantic foot soldiers, including War Secretary Pete Hegseth, congressional Republicans like Mike Johnson, Fox News influencers and hosts, MAGA podcasters, and your own unhinged conspiratorial family members have all thrown themselves into performative hysterics, calling for Kelly's court-martial, imprisonment, and execution, all for having the stratospheric audacity to ask our servicemen and women to honor the oaths and not the whims of a coherently failing, revenge-addled narcissist directed at one of the largest and most violent examples of radical profiling we witnessed in our lifetimes. The juxtaposition between Kelly and Trump is beyond belief. Mark Kelly flew combat missions in the Gulf War. Donald Trump dodged military service not because he didn't believe in the Vietnam War, but due to non-existent bone spurs. Mark Kelly retired from the Navy and NASA, where he was an astronaut, to care for his wife, former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, in her recovery following an assassination attempt influenced by right-wing agitators. Donald Trump had sex with a porn star, while his third wife was with their 4-month-old son. Mark Kelly is a decorated war hero. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. Mark Kelly flew 4 spatial missions, traveling over 4.8 million miles above the Earth, 186 times in orbit. Donald Trump had a small 5-second cameo on Home Alone 2. Mark Kelly has received 2 Superior Service Medals, the Legion of Merit, 2 Distinguished Flying Crosses, 4 air medals, 2 Navy Commendation Medals, 1 Navy Achievement Medal, 2 Southwest Asian Service Medals, 1 Navy Expeditionary Medal, 2 Sea Service Deployment Ribbons, a NASA Distinguished Service Medal, and Overseas Service Ribbon, along with his campaign medals for the Middle East. Donald Trump incited an insurrection on our capital in an attempt to overturn a free and fair election of the people and commandeer our government by force, in which a police officer lost his life on that day. Despite having lived through the last decade and watched tens of millions of Americans abandon critical thinking, moral convictions, and working empathy in real time, moments like this remind us once again, in case we've forgotten, just how widespread conservative brain rot is, and how far gone so many people around us are. Mark Kelly is the absolute best of this nation. His 61-year body of work is marked by the kind of courage, sacrifice, decency, and honor that the MAGA actually thinks they claim to value. Donald Trump has left a 79-year-old slime of bankruptcy, financial improprieties, hush payments, indictments, felony convictions, sexual assault allegations, one that was affirmed in court, broken marriages, acts of treason, the cultic indoctrination of the people we loved, respected, and have lost for good. Kelly is the patriotic leader, husband, father, and the human being that Donald Trump will never be. The kind that his supporters tell us to respect and admire. I remember during the whole situation with Colin Kaepernick, respect the troops, stand for the flag, respect the troops. Where's your respect for him? At every turn, conservatives traffic in flag waving, fireworks showy patriotism. But when the rubber meets the road, they will always side with the snarling, barely coherent, treasonous career criminal and sexual predator in whom they have placed the entirety of their identities. They are simply incapable of parting with him because doing so would mean confronting their culpability in the irreparable harm he has done to this country. And so, they denigrate an astronaut and defend the ass. God bless America. I'm going to make something first of all, thank you, John Pavlitz. I'm going to make something very clear to all of you. And you can take this as a threat if you want to. Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, and the rest of you idiots in the MAGA. I'm going to make this very clear. I don't care who you are, if I work with you or if you're members of my family. This is all going to fall apart. Donald Trump's game he's playing is going to fall apart. And when it does, and it will, bank on it, it will, you will receive no mercy from us, from me. One way or another, you are going to be held responsible for the damage you let this man do to our country. You let a man like Trump call for the execution of 6 people because they reminded our troops that they can resist illegal orders. And those illegal orders are coming. As I keep saying, when we look at the nature of this particular beast and the people who surround them, they are coming. Hell, they already have come. Ordering military troops in our cities, having ICE agents crawl around our cities looking for illegal immigrants while arresting American citizens. Threats of using martial law to end our elections. One way or another, you are going to be held responsible. Now, my way is the law. You stood by and let Trump destroy our country. And legally, I will see every Donald Trump supporter put in prison as an accessory after the fact. And as for the 6 people you call treasonous and seditious, you better pray nothing happens to them. I heard the threats over the telephone, threatening to kill their families. If anything happens to any of them, you better pray it doesn't. Because I've been civil to this point. Don't mistake civility for weakness. I have a prison cell with your names on it. Don't let Donald Trump get you locked up. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right. Oh, one more thing. Happy Thanksgiving.